Hi guys, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'd like to explore the concept of duality in the 99th episode of the Spiritual Brainstorm. A very short video just to explain the concept of duality in a with an example, and hopefully it's something that will help you sort of picture this idea of going beyond duality, 5D, and all these things. So here I have a simple coin. Now, in non-duality, true non-duality, that is, before duality even existed, this coin didn't exist. There were no two sides of the coin. There was only oneness, only one thing, with no sides. So it's the place where all concepts sort of collapse onto each other. For instance, in this example, let's say that this coin is, one side is freedom, and the other side is enslavement or imprisonment. Now, 100% freedom is the same as, like, infinite freedom is the same as infinite imprisonment, because then you're a slave to your infinite freedom. You can only be, and then once those two concepts sort of separate, then you can say that when they land on one side, you experience relative freedom. That is, even when you're free, you're still not free from your human condition. You can't fly if you decide to fly. You can't decide to disappear somewhere and reappear somewhere else. So you're still bound by your human condition, but you do experience freedom in the relative, or you experience imprisonment and the feeling of being enslaved or restricted in some way in the relative. That's when you can juggle with these concepts. But of course, before that exists, you have oneness, where freedom and imprisonment are one. And when you have infinite possibilities and you can be anything, it is the same as being nothing, because then it just, your boundless capabilities become your prison. You cannot be anything else but boundless, which is an imprisonment. And that's sometimes very hard to comprehend. And now some people in non-duality, what they try to do is to live on the side like this without shifting or landing on either side of the coin. And that is very, very difficult to do. But that is not non-duality. That is refusing duality or a denial of duality. Now, the only way out of duality is to recreate oneness and add a dimension. Right now here you have a two-dimensional coin, duality. And the way to be able to juggle and go beyond duality is this. When you spin that coin, notice, the metaphor is you're able to play with duality. You're able to have fun with, twisting and turning and going from one to the other, instead of being flat and either experiencing one or the other. You seamlessly go from freedom to enslavement or imprisonment or feeling limited in a seamless way. And notice another thing. From 2 dimensions, now we are 3-dimensional. If you imagine this coin spinning very fast, it will look like a sphere, where before it is a disc. Of course, it's already 3-dimensional in this example, but imagine that duality is 2 sides of a 2-dimensional coin. That is, it's even more impossible to actually set it on the side. It's completely impossible. The only way out of duality and adding a new dimension and having oneness again is the spin, where you play with duality. The sphere, again, is oneness, because there's only one side to a sphere. There are no two sides. The sphere is just one. The sides exist only as a disk. So I hope this was interesting for you as an example of how you go from 3D to 5D, how you add a new dimension, and the way out of duality back into oneness, with duality integrated and transcended within it, rather than a denial of duality. You see, because that disk still exists within that spin. It has not disappeared, but it forms something new, a new form of oneness altogether at a higher level at a higher dimensional level. So you go from oneness that has 0 dimensions to duality with 2 dimensions, with a new oneness, but adding a dimension, 3 dimensions, and then that process continues. So hope that was interesting, and talk to you in the next video.